Hello everyone, this is HuskyStarcraft here, back to some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm action. Oh yeah, we got a probe moving out right away here. As, yeah, we're going to be seeing a proxy right away. And my voice wasn't expecting something to happen just yet. It's like, oh god, Husky, stop casting, you're making way too many videos. And I'm like, shut up, voice, I make the rules. Down the bottom left side, it is going to be Paranoid. Oh, look at that, he knows how to do the, oh, you guys like that voice crack? Was that pretty sexy? Look at that, got the little heart going on. No, this isn't a game that is live. I can talk to myself all day. Hey guys, you can't hear me because this game is already done. All right, so you can talk to yourself there, which is quite nice. It is going to be a PvZ. And it does look at the Protoss right now. Oh, is this even going to be a proxy? Or is it just a super early block of the expansion? That is the real question. And you can see right here that our Protoss player, Sage, is going to be making a little bit of small talk right now. And if, oh, that Overlord totally would have spotted that too. I think it's going to be a Gateway, right? Yep, a Gateway coming up right away. This is going to be making Paranoid. Well, he should be more paranoid right now. If you were to send out a drone, then he would have spotted this. Oh my god, this is such a crazy build, because if you think about it, if he goes hatchery first, which is very common in this matchup, then it would have blocked this up. Although I am surprised to see him actually reveal that probe, because what he could have done is just delayed the hatchery that wouldn't have ever gone down. So anyways, we'll have to wait and see if this actually does pan out. I'm very curious to see how this pans out. I don't, like, what do you do in this situation as Zerg? I honestly don't know, as I have not seen this before, but we should be seeing a Zealot here on the way right away. I do want to talk about these players and the game a little bit. I did not expect this game to get started so quickly. The drone right there is indeed going to spot it, goes straight for the pylon. Not going to be able to kill that off, though, before the Zealot gets out for sure. He'll have to make a queen, maybe a spine, and a couple of drones, or excuse me, Zerglings right away. And Paranoid right now, probably a little bit paranoid. He is Paranoid Parrot about this game, as he probably did not expect this whatsoever. I would personally throw down a spine right away. That's just me, though, and he does decide to do that. One Zealot is on the way. Here he goes, 6 Lings on the way as well. I don't think his Zealot's going to be able to do all that much. There is a second Zealot following it up, though, and Crotoboost makes Zealot surprisingly quickly. Here comes the first Zealot here, though. Notice how he's going to hang on to that Zealot for just a second. He doesn't want to lose it right away. He knows the spine's almost done. He knows the Lings are on the way. So killing the probe would be nice. It's not that he needs to kill the probe, but one probe shot and 2 Zealot swipes will kill Zerglings. Now, he's going to go ahead and run by. This is actually a beautiful maneuver right now. He's going to go straight for the main base. He knows that there's nothing here. The cannon is not going to be done in time, and the Zealots are actually going to be falling all the way back. So this game got very interesting very, very quickly. Now I can talk about these players for just 1 second. He's going to try and kill that probe. I think he should just go straight for the main base. I guess the cannon will be done since he took the time to chase down that probe. But he at least did force the cannon to go down before the Nexus. Those Zerglings are going to be just a moment too late to be able to actually kill. Oh, well, I don't know. Zerglings do run pretty quick. Does he decide to go for this round? No, runs into the main base and does not lose a single Zergling. Oh, they're on the move command there for a second. The probes there are going to retreat. That does leave the main base very vulnerable. I'll talk about these players later, because this game is underway right away. Only 13 drones, though, for Paranoid right now, so he has to do some sort of economic damage right now, and so far it's just not happening. Yes, he's killed off 1 probe, might be able to get a second, and he does. A third one as well, so now it's starting to even out just a little bit. 18 to 18, that's exactly what he needed. Plus the long distance mining here is going to be quite nice. Now, 4 Lings is still enough to do quite a bit of damage, but the Zealot control of Sage is probably going to be enough to eventually clean these out, but the 4 Lings here do remain. I don't think he can actually kill off that Zealot, especially now that all 3 are completely weakened right now. So we can talk here for just a moment. Paranoid is a Polish player, which is awesome, and Sage is going to be a Korean from Team Root, which is pretty awesome. There is apparently a lot of Polish players out there. What is it with Poland and esports, man? Is that just a country that breeds competitive gamers? We do have a supply block here. This is a pretty severe one as well for Sage. I think there's just been too much going on. Hasn't been able to drop down the pylon in time. He is spotting the timing of the gas, though. He knows, hey, there's 2 gas on the way. There's also going to be probes already in that gas, and he knows the expansion timing. So he knows he's actually not in that bad a shape. The fact of the matter is, oh, the Zealot right here trying to make something happen. He is going to get intercepted right away. I mean, the fact of the matter is that Paranoid is now on 3 bases. He's got his natural, quote-unquote, which is just his second base out here, and he has his actual natural going to be taken here relatively soon. So he's going to be okay. This is going to even out in a big way. He did enough probe damage to be able to stay ahead in drones, and is going to be okay moving forward. Now, he's going to be a little bit paranoid here moving forward. Yes, guys, I can't help but make bad puns, okay? All right, I'm not a sage, okay? I just have to make... Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the puns, I promise. We do see this Zorg's going to be moving around, though, because he is actually paranoid and wants to spot if there's going to be any sort of crazy rush here. Because, you know, right now he could be throwing down 7 gateways. He could be working towards doing something like that hidden from the sight of the Overlord. Although double Overlord inside the main base, these Overlords are quite ballsy. They're able to spot everything that's going on. I think even when the Cybercore was wrapping up there, he was able to spot that as well. So I'm kind of curious to see... I don't think the Stargate gets spotted. Let's take a look at that. He has not spotted the Stargate. I would love to tell the Overlord. I would love to tell him that there is a Stargate there, but unfortunately he does not know. Mothership Core is on the way. Now, I think a Roach timing actually would have been really effective here, especially with the Stargate on the way, because Roaches are an interesting thing in that you can get so many of them that the Void Rays can't actually kill them off quickly enough, especially if Sage is going to be going for a Phoenix here, which I have a feeling he is going to be doing that. A Roach timing would have done great damage, but now the, I wouldn't call it the momentum, but the pacing of the game has now started to go back towards Sage, especially if he gets a Phoenix right here. Is that what he's going to go for? Phoenix? Phoenix? Yep, it is going to be a Phoenix there. The reason I'm predicting Phoenix is because he's going for an aggressive stanced attack. Look at this. He's got 2 Zealots. He's got a Stalker and a Mothership Core out in the center of the map. And so going for a Void Ray, it would take too long, not only to make, but to also get across the map. And also, since his early attack was so aggressive, it was actually as aggressive as you can get as Protoss, versus Zerg, is that he was so aggressive that he knows if he lets his opponent sit back and macro up, he's going to fall behind. So he wants to go for the most aggressive follow-up that he can, which is going to be Phoenix's. Of course, Phoenix move very quickly. They're going to be able to snipe those 2 Overlords that we saw kind of floating around, and it does look like Zerg's over here trying to make something happen. I don't know if this is the correct choice. The Queen is working on the Mothership Core, though. He does have enough for mass recall and will use the recall there. So he got a little bit too worried about that. I think he would have been able to... No, I don't know. It was a lot of lings right there. But the Phoenix should be moving out here relatively soon. I don't think the Overlord is going to spot this, though. Notice how the Phoenix are staying hidden from the Overlord. It can be tempting to send your Phoenix over there to kill that Overlord as quickly as possible, but the Overlord honestly might not even... Oh, he has spotted the Stargate. But either way, don't want to reveal your Phoenix to that Overlord, as tempting as it may be. 2 Phoenix are now on the field. A 3rd one going to be joining them right now, and a 4th one actually being produced here. So Zergling speed got to be nearly done, but so far a very interesting game. We have a very, very early 4th base right now at a Paranoid at the 10-minute mark here. He might be getting a little bit too greedy right now. We do have the Infestation Pit on the way as well. Should help him deal with these Phoenix. Another Queen going to be brought up. Does he have enough for Transfuse? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Now, losing a Queen or 2 right now, losing an Overlord or even a drone or 2 is actually completely acceptable as long as he deals with these Phoenix at some point. Now, 3 Phoenix I don't think is enough to kill it in one pickup. No, it is not. We'll have to pick it up once again. Does not have enough for Transfuse. Almost kills off the 1 Phoenix right there. Spore Crawler at the main base. Quite nice. There is 2 at the natural, actually. So we got to get some free shots off here. Does he focus down the weakened one? It didn't have time as it was backed up just a little bit too far. But I'm quite surprised Paranoid actually able to get away with macroing this hard. He's still making drones. And we have double Spire on the way. There's 1 Spire. Where's the other Spire? There it is right up here. So he has 1 at the natural, 1 at the main. Now, this is a bold move, as Kerrigan liked to say in Brood War, a bold move. And the fact of the matter is that there's already Phoenix on the field. So I think he's kind of counting on the fact that there's not going to be too many more Phoenix in play, and he's just going to overwhelm them with Mutalisk. I can't imagine what else he would get from the Spire. I mean, really all you're going to get is Corruptor at this point, as the Viper is something that you're not going to really see at this stage. A 5th base? Are you kidding me? Paranoid, you are ridiculous. 12-minute mark, 5th base. I cannot believe this. This is awesome. This is awesome. He may be the new macro king here. We'll just have to wait and see. The Overlords do need to get back by the Spore Crawler. There's a 2nd Spore Crawler going to be constructed or waddled over there. Looks like it is going to be constructed right now. Queens are getting taken out, which is quite annoying. But considering he's going to have his 5th hatchery here pretty soon, he doesn't even need Inject Larvas all that much. Take a look at the unit set. Is that 86 drones? Oh my god. No, we're not going to look through every single one, but I believe that that is 86 drones at the 12-minute mark. He is he's taking Rhett's spot, man, as the macro king. And you got to remember that that involved an early attack as well. So this game is going to be ridiculous. Losing Overlords, honestly, at this point, I would say, you know, this is starting to add up a little bit. It's starting to catch up to him. But since he has so many bases, he has so many drones, his income's going to be ridiculous. 2,300 here. It honestly doesn't matter. It does not matter if he's losing a couple Overlords here and there. It doesn't matter if he's losing Queens. As long as he rebuilds them at some point, he's got to be just fine. Now, I think that the Mutalisk tech is a little bit precarious, because you can see right now that Paranoid loses his first Muta right away, and all of a sudden Sage is like, okay, well, I'll just keep building Phoenix right now. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, to see the +1 attack as well for those air units. But the Phoenix right now, he can easily Chrono Boost those out. Now, the Colossus tech is going to be an interesting choice. Corruptors are actually mixed in. This is a lot of Mutalisks here on the field. He's going to be maxed out in no time off of his income that he is currently sustaining. I got to say, though, Sage has managed to perfectly saturate all 3 bases. Look at this saturation, 16, 17, and 18. If you want to know how to get maximum income off of 3 bases when you're not fully saturated, look at that. Basically, at about 17 to 18 on each mineral or each expansion gets you in pretty good shape. Honestly, gotta take out some drones here. Again, this doesn't really matter because more drones are already following it up. Now, if he gets below 80, then maybe he'll start to add up here. This 5th base, though, is completely undefended at this point. It does look like drones right now getting taken out by this Zealot. 2 kills on him already. Looks like the hatchery may go down as well. This is exactly what Sage needs to do right now, but the Mutalisk count is just so freaking high, I don't even know if the Phoenix is going to be able to deal with it. He's going to definitely wear the deal with its shades. This is so many Mutalisks, it's actually ridiculous. He needs to engage these Phoenix directly. That's exactly what he's going to try and do here. But the control right now of Sage is just too good. There is the Corruptors are trying to absorb the damage. I don't think I've ever seen a battle quite like this. Keep in mind the 5th base did go down. Again, that doesn't really matter for Paranoid. This does, though, losing 4 stray Mutas right there. But at the same time, it could have been the old bait and switch. He's been duped. He's got to go ahead and go straight for the probes. He's not going to be able to kill off the Nexus here. Keep in mind that Phoenix Void Ray basically hard counters Mutalisk Corruptor if everything is in even numbers. The Phoenix right there, I've got to be careful. Gets a couple nice shots off there, though, with the Corruptors. He can easily use that Corruption ability if he wants. A Void Ray right there could be caught out of position, but a very interesting strategy here by Paranoid. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. I think it's pretty awesome. I hope he continues with it, but there is the Anion Pulse Crystals. That's going to increase the range of the Phoenix shots by 2. Which just makes them so ridiculously good versus Mutas. So I don't know if going for pure Muta is going to be worth it. I think going for Corruptor is a better option. Lots of Spore Callers around can help out. 2 Spore Callers at each base should be enough, but I wouldn't even advise against 3. Just because that's a lot of Phoenix. You're forcing your opponent to go for Phoenix, because what you can do here, force the Phoenix, force the Void Rays, and then maybe switch to Mass Hydra, maybe even switch to Ultralisks with a lot of Zerglings so that the Void Rays can't keep up, especially if the Corruptors to absorb a lot of the shots there. Oh, some nice shots here, taking out the Phoenix here as well. I'm kind of curious to see overall units lost here is heavily favoring Sage, but oh, look at this! Forward cannons at a potential 5th base here to protect those Phoenix. Very interesting game so far. I gotta admit, I know I've said this already, but I haven't really seen anything like this whatsoever. Some Zealots over here will get taken out. This is exactly what Paranoid needs to do. Now remember, the fact that Paranoid is choosing to go Mutalisks means that he is almost guaranteed to not be cost effective in this units tab anytime soon. And what it also means is it allowed him to get a 5th base. A 6th base is already on the way. I seriously am not even surprised at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 7th base go down at this point. But 18 minutes, 6th base. Lings over here might get a nice surround on the Nexus. Should be able to kill this off. And this Nexus was about halfway done. Will force the cancel. He does get that. Upgrades on the Zealots 1-1. Zergling's currently sitting at 0-0. But the air upgrades already at 1 attack, 2 armor. Not too shabby. Our air upgrades right now for Sage, I don't think he's got anything just yet. Take a look here. No, he hasn't started the air upgrades, which is very shocking because Sky Toss is so good now. But I gotta say, the Corruptor Muta Ling combo, very, very interesting. Lings aren't going to be doing that much in this case. We'll see if he can manage to actually engage this directly. No, he's going to go around that army. The Phoenix have been out here harassing at the main base, but he's got to go straight for probes. We'll be able to take out the cannon right now. There's a 2nd cannon there, and the army will be able to back up. This is a lot of massacred probes. How many did he kill overall? 24 to 16 killed off. But the Phoenix have showed up. They got the perfect angle here. The Corruptors could go straight for the Colossus if they want to, and the Muta's trying to run straight into those Phoenix. I wish the Corruptors would kill this Colossus, but it looks like the Mutas will finish it. Oh god, how is that Colossus still alive? That is the real question. Still one of the wonkiest battles I've ever seen. I mean, what are we watching here? I don't even know, but I gotta say, I love the playstyle that Paranoid is trying to make work here, and we'll be able to eventually chase these Phoenix all the way back over here, but there's so many cans here that the Mutas cannot engage. But this shows you why the Anion Pulse Crystals are such an important upgrade, because the Mutas are getting taken out very, very quickly. Great control here by Sage. This is exactly why you don't see Mutas versus Phoenix that often. Will be able to kill off that poor Phoenix, which unfortunately had a bad rally point. But it's so interesting because Paranoid is going for the most aggressive build I can even imagine with the Mass Muta. We'll be able to kill off these, the Corruptors gave up. They weren't giving chase. We'll be able to kill off a couple of these Phoenix, though. Not going to get those 2 Void Rays just yet. And, yeah, not going to kill them off. But either way, he's continuing to do this. As he is going to do it. I almost feel smart which I don't say very often because it's almost never true. He is going to tech switch into the Ultralisk Cavern. I think this is a good move. It's going to be very effective versus just the pure Stalker, and there's not that many air units at this point. Sage has not done a full transition to Sky Toss. As you can see, he's going to be working on some Ultralisks here. It does look like base number 5 will go down, but that will reduce the bases to 5, as the new established 6th base over here will be his 5th remaining. The Milo's got to be moving out, and he's got to be buying himself a little bit of time, getting this army out of position. And I got to say that, oh no, the Corruptor's flying over the Archons there. That was an ideal situation. What's not an ideal situation is these Lings inside your main base. Got to be killing in the freshly warped in Stalkers. He's going to try and go for the Nexus, but you got to remember that these Zerglings do not have any upgrades. So I don't think he's going to be able to kill that off in time, showing us how important those upgrades are. More Corruptors are on the way, and I don't know how to say, guys. This game is awesome. I know a lot of you are going to be sitting back there and being like, Paranoid, what are you doing? You're being so stupid. I actually really like this because his build is it's a very unique play style because it's forcing him to have to be so aggressive with his army and so aggressive with his expanding that he just has to keep expanding, but he has fast units to keep the Protoss army in their base. Unfortunately, he did not find a perfect counterattack timing, so it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Now, one thing I've noticed Protoss players doing a lot is throwing down lots of cannons, like more cannons than you would ever expect. There was 6 being produced right there, and it has started to prove to be very effective. Now, static defenses are something you wouldn't expect to be very useful. Here comes a huge attack. Can he actually kill this off with what he's got? We're about to find out. The Mutalisk here actually able to kill off the Archons. Not so much on the Phoenix here, though. The Phoenix count is still relatively high. Not as high as it's been, though. 6 kills, or excuse me, 6 Phoenix overall. I'm kind of curious to see how many kills these Phoenix actually have. That one has 0, but these other ones have 8. 5 kills on that one. The Mutalisks are going to be engaging here. I think that Paranoid may be overcommitting. He realizes that he's going to go ahead and retreat right now. There's a minor battle for the Watchtower. That Voidray has 6 kills. He's almost been forgotten about by the Protoss, and it does delay the base right there. I don't know if you noticed that, killing off that probe with a little bit of micro, but I still think that Mass Hydra might be the best choice right now, or at least get out some of those Ultras like we've talked about. Corruptors right now trying to take out the Phoenix. If you can kill the Phoenix, that is huge, because that means the Mutalisks can actually start harassing the main base, which is really what Mutalisks were invented for. That's why Abathur made the Mutalisk, is to begin harassing the Protoss when and where he can. But again, it's just so many cannons. It is absurd. No Zerg would ever expect this many cannons, but what he really needs to do, though, is separate these Corruptors from the Mutalisks. You can see he does have them on different hotkeys, but the main problem is that they are currently with the Mutalisks. Those Corruptors basically just need to fly home safely at this point. Can he kill off any of these Phoenix, though? And I gotta say, Sage, this is what I was trying to say for like 10 minutes, is that the playstyle of Paranoid is so aggressive with the expanding, so aggressive with how many units he has in the air, that Sage has to be cost effective. If he was going toe-to-toe on units lost, he would be losing this game in droves. He would be so far behind. So when you're watching this game, keep in mind that the playstyle Paranoid is using, Sage has to be cost effective in his engagements, otherwise he will lose. That is the playstyle that Paranoid is trying to force here. Sage, though, not really falling for it just yet, as his control has been very, very good. And even look at these 3 Zealots. They're going to be going in here, and they spotted the Ultralisk Cavern. That is a huge tell as to what the potential tech switch is going to be, and you can see he's working on the upgrades for those Ultras right now, so he eventually wants a tech switch to that. And I love the Zergling counterattacks. Their upgrades are so weak right now. I'm trying to click on one. There we go. 1-1 upgrades there, but compared to the Protoss, 3-3. And that doesn't even include the shield upgrade just yet, which we could easily... I think the shield upgrade would actually be really smart, considering we're starting to see Archons. We've seen a lot of air units. Air units also benefit from the shield upgrade. The Mutas right here are going to be killing off a lot of cannons. This is why you have to throw down like 10+ cannons. He's actually going to go straight for the Nexus. Might actually manage to get it. The army is not going to be back in time to defend it. Looks like the Phoenix have arrived, though. The Corruptors actually finally doing their jobs and killing off these Phoenix. But look at this, the swing around attack with these units. Can he sandwich them? Yes, he does. But there's just not enough Phoenix to kill them directly, so he is still forced to micro around. Paranoid now finally doing an insane amount of damage here, evening it up a little bit, but it's still not enough to get ahead in that unit's loss tab. Overall workers killed, though, 49-18. This is such a ridiculous build from Paranoid. I gotta say, Normally, Zerg players are just like, all right, well, they have this thing called the Phoenix, so I'm going to stop making Mutalisks. He says, oh, hell nah. He's going to continue with that. 12 more Mutas on the way, and you can see he's got the bankroll to make this work. I think he meant to put these drones in that gas right there, but regardless, his income is looking great. Needs to put a couple more drones throughout these gas, but either way, he can afford it to continue losing units here. Again, as long as he keeps that Phoenix Cloud a little bit low, then he's got to be in pretty good shape, but he's just had a difficult time in dealing with that. Sacrifices that Phoenix there. Honestly, that was just to free up more supply for additional Phoenix, because you can see he immediately began building yet another one. The Mutas right here, though, gotta go for it. It's just 1 or 2 Archon shots could be the end, and manages to back it out right there. I don't even want to know what his APM is right now. Almost 400 apiece throughout this entire game. These players very evenly matched, but you have to remember that he did manage to kill off one of the bases. Zerg's over here trying to get this round, but again, it's 3-3 versus, I believe, 1-1. Maybe it's 1-2 at this point, as he does have the armor upgrade now. Yes, he does. So it's going to be 1-2 on those Lings, and we're going to be starting to see multi-prong attacks here. You can see an army moving out here in the center. Does manage to take out one of those bases, and looks like the Stalkers here might be able to take out yet another hatchery. Now, maybe watching this be going, well, there's not that many minerals there. What he needs desperately is the gas. There's only a couple hundred gas left there, and if he loses that hatchery, that gas is basically lost forever. It's not like he's going to rebuild a hatchery for that, and he does manage to hang on to it, so that base is going to be mined out, I would say, before he ends up losing it here. But it does look like the Zergans here are going to get in, and if he magic boxes can he do it? Magic box him? Okay, he didn't take any splash damage from those Archons, so he's going to chase this one down. He could turn around and get one shot off, but that's not going to be enough. The Archon gets taken out. Now, Mass Blink Stalker, does he even have Blink? No, he doesn't have Blink. He's working on it right now, though. He's going to try and get out that Blink, but he does. I don't know how he survives this long versus Mutas with no Blink. That is absurd. 4 Archons on the way. Gotta remember, we're about 30 minutes into this game. This has actually been the most action-packed game I want to say that I've ever casted. This has been the most non-stop aggression I've ever cast. I'm going to say that. This game is insane. The map isn't even really cut in half. I mean, it's kind of getting there as our Zerg player is going to be working down those rocks. But overall, it's been a relatively low econ game for Protoss, given that it's a 30-minute game, because the Mutalisks have been able to knock out one of the expansions, and to establish another base, he has to throw down lots of cannons, so he has to save up lots of money to actually do that. So the expansions are a little bit later than you might expect at this stage. Now, I am kind of surprised to see no side storms, because one storm can kill off an entire Mutalisk flock. Oh, it's so tempting to go for this Nexus. Decides to go for the probes first. Wouldn't have been able to kill off that Nexus regardless. Taking a look at the workers killed, overall 72 workers killed. Almost 100 workers right now for us. Like, oh, we finally get an Archon shot off on those Mutas. The angle looking really, really good for Sage right now. The Archons doing their due diligence, and they have managed to whittle that army down substantially, about 10,000 resources ahead in the unit's loss. But here's a counterattack over here. Is going to be killing off some of the probes. Decides to go straight for the Nexus. Again, he is going to be killing off about 1,000 gas, because the Protoss player most likely isn't going to rebuild that Nexus just to get the 1,000 gas. And does manage to delay mining over here as well. Again, nonstop, and he gets the Nexus right now. Paranoid getting a little bit of momentum during this. He wants to get this army out of position so he can kill off yet another base. He scouts up here. He sees, hey, our Protoss player is not mining that much. So Zerg is actually ahead in the income, even though he's mined out on 3 full bases, which normally for Zerg players, well, that was just the Zerg. Okay, that was just the Lings being taken out. Almost had a heart attack. Thought it was all the Mutas. But anyways, usually you're not going to see Zerg players completely mine out a 3rd base, but that's exactly what we're seeing here. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd bases don't even have any gas. This one has just a little bit left. Here's another attack over here going to be taking place, but there's just so many Phoenix that, again, he's able to hold his ground. Now, I'm trying to think of what either player could do here. I think Storm for the Protoss, which is what we're starting to see right now from Sage. Finally going to be researching that. Does he have High Templar on the field? That is the big question. He's warping him in right now. I don't know if any of them have any energy, though. Yeah, he just warped in his first 4. So Storms are still about a minute out, because he does have to wait for not only the Storm research, but also the energy. And a ping over there is apparently one of our spectators is like, hey, why hasn't our Protoss expanded there? But those like the Mutas here are going to be delaying this. Anything he can do to delay an expansion is huge. Like knocking that pylon down, that means no cannons there. Killing off the assimilator, that means no gas being mined. Lots of Lings on the map now. Look at the mini-map. The unit's going to be streaming out across the map. His upgrades are at 2-3. He is finally working on the 3rd attack. I still think going for Ultras wouldn't be the worst choice in the world. Lings right here trying to counterattack. That's not going to really happen, though. There's just too many units at this point. They are going to spot the High Templar here, though. Can he kill off any of them? Not quite. He does get one right there at the last second. But main base is now exposed. The Phoenix trying to get back down here to defend this, but this may activate the attack right now. Oh, he flies in the Corruptors there. once again going to be baiting those Phoenix into those Corruptors. Killed off 3 of those Phoenix. Keep an eye on the supply. Neither player is actually maxed out right now. We do see the Mutas right here. He's got to be careful. Cannot afford a single shot from those Archons. The Archons are going to be losing lots of weight in this game. I mean, I know they look fat now, but they're going to be a lot lighter weight after running around this much. Corruptors there trying to take out the Phoenix, because he knows that the Phoenix are really the only thing he needs to kill off. Now, lots of Zerglings are on the way. I don't know if this is the best choice. We'll see if he manages to make this happen, though. What he's trying to do is attack one location and with the Mutas, and then attack with the Zerglings in a completely different area. Blink forward there, a little bit premature. The main base is going to be exposed. I don't know if the Mutalists realize that, though. The Phoenix have now backed up here. Those Lings cannot attack up there. That's going to be suicide. Sends 2 Lings there to buy him a little bit of time, but does find this expansion right now completely exposed. Should probably go for the probes, but he wants to delay that income as much as he possibly can. This shows you just how frustrating Mutalists can be, but Sage, I gotta hand to him, man. He is hanging in there. He is fighting the good fight. Does end up losing another Nexus right there. I'm kind of curious on the income right now. Our Protoss player down to 500. Does bump it up to around 600 right now. 1,600 for Zerg, and he needs to get as many drones at that location as he can. He's already got 18, though, which is pretty good. He wants to mine out the bases closer to his opponent if he can. Try and save these right here, as silly as it is, just because they're easier to protect, but that's going to be mined out in just a matter of moments. 12 Mutalists on the way, and I gotta say, Sage has been so cost-effective throughout this game, but losing a couple Nexus is not going to be good. Goes straight to the main base. This Nexus is worthless. Doesn't even need to kill that. That's why he's going to be going for the protection right now. I think killing out the Fleet Beacon might be a good idea. I don't think we're going to be seeing really any Fleet Beacon units, though. And he does decide to go for the Nexus. You might as well. That's less Chrono Boost. That's going to be less probes produced later if he needs to recreate those. And it does take away a lot of supply. Remember, the Nexus adds supply as well. But here we go. Going to be pushing forward with the Stalkers. And the Archon as well going to be taking out a base finally for the Zerg. Can he kill off these Stalkers? Is that even enough Stalkers to scare this army away? Sage would be smart to back those up. That's exactly what he's going to do right now. So the main base has been taken out. This army is going to be moving forward. These Mutalists will get taken out if they stay much longer. They decide to retreat immediately. Ooh, this base, he would love to hang on to this. There are 4 spine crawlers here. 5, actually. No, there's more than that. There's like 6. 7? No, there's 6. Okay, 6 spine crawlers there might just be enough to hold on to this base. He needs that base so badly. He is going to end up losing it, though, and watch his income is going to plummet after losing this. As, he's already lost a lot of the drones. He's lost 5 left mining there, and really this is his only mining base. You can see it has now dropped down to about 1,100. Oh, I believe that was Broodlings, not all drones that just died right there, but he's got to be careful with the Mutas once again. Doing a good job keeping his Mutalist count high. But I don't know if he can still hang on to this base or not. This is going to be really, really tough for him to keep this base alive. And this is the base that is going to start turning this game back around and evening it out in a big way. Because look at the income now. It's going to plummet as soon as this base dies. He ended up losing the drones here, having to back them up right now. Big Zergling counterattack, though. This is enough Zerglings to kill off this base. We'll see if the Stalkers can get back here in time. Kills off the cannons. More cannons going to be on the way, showing you the importance of the cannons. If you're wondering what these probes are doing, they're actually protecting the Nexus. They're hugging the Nexus. They're saying, no, do not kill our Nexus, and it looks like the Nexus will survive. Oh god, no it won't! No it won't! He gets a last second surround there, and the Nexus has fallen. So this game is so back and forth. I gotta say, I'm gonna say hands down, this is one of my favorite games I've ever seen ever. Such a good game. Both these players so evenly matched. Their APM is the same. The units lost is about the same considering how many mutas we've seen. The income is now the same-ish as both players have lost a lot. Overall, workers killed here, 106 to 142. Paranoid has killed over 100 probes. That is ridiculous. If I'm doing my math right, that's 5,000 minerals, right? 5,000 minerals in just probes. The Corruptors, as you can see, they really... do they actually only take 1 shot? 2 damage per shot from the Phoenix right now? I think they do. So you can see the Corruptors, once they have that 3 armor, Phoenix are worth... It doesn't even do damage to them, essentially. I think it does the bare minimum. But this is still anybody's game at this point. Protoss still behind in supply. I think the one thing that Paranoid can do better here is get out some sort of spellcaster. Whether it's going to be the Viper to pull those Archons in, or the Blinding Cloud to make the Immortals worthless, whether it's going to be the, I would say more importantly, the Fungal Growth, I think is what his army is really lacking right now. If he can get Fungal Growth, that's going to be a lot of damage because the army is so clumped up. It can force the army to move very slowly across the map, and then you can fly the Mutas in for some more counterattack, which is exactly what he's going to be doing right now, at least, with flying into the main base. He does drop a pylon there to try and reclaim that Warp Gate. That Warp Gate is going to get taken out, though. The Lings here are going to be buying enough time, and this is a classic use of Zergling Muta here versus Protoss, forcing the army out of position here. He is going to be able to kill off Archons with Lings. A nice little trap has been sprung. Wait, are the Archons actually going to survive? No, they die, but they buy enough time for the Stalkers to get up here. And the Mutalisk going to be attacking right now at the natural. Now, this is not the most important base at this point, which I don't think I've ever said this, but the most important base for Protoss is in the center of the map right now. And Sage, actually, that's going to be his only Nexus remaining. This one's not really doing anything. So Sage, at this point, cannot lose any units because he cannot afford to reproduce them. Any unit that he loses is not going to be rebuilt right now. The ping right there showing, hey, there is still an available base right now. But I got to say, Paranoid looking to be in really good shape right now. He's got some good income. He's got a mining base, which is more than Sage can really say, or at least 2 mining bases right now for Paranoid. This one is almost mined out, but still, he's got the advantage. So look at the mini-map for a second. Have you ever seen a game like this? I don't think so. And honestly, I cannot believe this game has been 42 minutes. It feels like a 15-minute game because it's been so non-stop. I could watch these players play all day, and at this rate, this game may take all day. The Phoenix right here, though, getting tons of damage off on those Phoenix. Beautiful control by Sage, but this is looking just so dire for Sage. More Zerglings going to counterattack up here. They see, hey, there is actually no base there. Killing off pylons right now is actually a huge benefit to Paranoid because you got to remember that Sage is so low on money that, look at this, he has to build more pylons if he loses too many. Now, we do have baneling speed on the way, and you can see right now that gas is becoming an issue for Paranoid. So if he's not careful here, he's going to run into a major problem. So he needs to be mining gas there and here as well. So he's got 9 drones not mining gas that should be, which would greatly supplement his army. But I mean, the problem is that all the takeable bases for the most part are on the right side of the map. He is going to be going for pylons here. This is actually good. Normally, I would say don't do this, but it is actually going to supply block him right now. He's risking his Zerglings for the sake of supply block, which is exactly what's going to happen here. And Sage, I mean, he just can't afford to produce more pylons. Let's be honest, the Zerglings up here are going to be doing a little bit of damage. He's trying to pull this army every which way. Ling's going to be attacking in here. That's not going to be doing a lot of damage. The Storm there will probably be doing more damage than those Lings did. But that means that the Mutalisk is going to be flying over here. If he can kill off any production, then Sage is not going to be able to remake it. I mean, at this point, Sage cannot even build enough pylons to get on supply block. So it looks like this is going to be his last-ditch effort, moving out with everything he has got. And it does look like the Spine Crawlers are going to be doing a little bit of preliminary damage. Can he kill off a Stalker? Yes, he does. Will kill off a couple of Zealots as well. Every single unit here, again, is not going to be reproduced. So these Mutalisks right now should actually be going for this expansion. I don't know. That's actually some pretty stellar defense right there. But with no beefy units for Paranoid, he just lost his only main mining base. He's got the half... no, there's only 1 mineral patch here, so he has lost his only mining base right now. The Storm there looking pretty good, but the thing you got to remember is... Oh, no, he's still mining down here. God, this game is ridiculous. The thing is that he's not mining off of these geysers here. It does look like the attack now finally spotting this with the Observer. He knows that's where he needs to be. He needs to get down there and needs to take care of that, but 142 supply out of 58. The only thing that Sage can make right now is Nexuses and Pylons, Nexi and Pylon, which is not going to be enough. I mean, he can keep trying to build Pylons, but I don't think he's ever going to be able to make another attacking unit. A huge Zergling swell right here, but the Storms were perfect. The Ultra's going to be joining in. It wasn't enough. The Muta showing up just a little bit late. I think that Sage might actually win that battle. The Storms are going to be finishing off a lot of these Mutalisks. An absolutely ridiculous game here. The most non-stop aggression in a game that I have ever seen in like 4 years of casting StarCraft. I have never seen a game be this non-stop. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I am not normally at a loss for words, but at this time, I don't even know what words can describe this game. This is the story of, like, Tassadar and Zeratul, man, holding the line. This is like them trying to... This is Ire right here. Let's pretend this is Ire, and the Zerg, man, have taken over the rest of the Kaprulu sector, or wherever Ire is. Ire's not in the Kaprulu sector, but either way, able to take over all the other planets. We'll pretend that these are planets. And all that remains is, look at this, he's taking a base over here. What are you doing? He might actually manage to pull this off. Is he saying, you know what, Husky, the bases in the middle were the ones that have worked out for me the best. He's able to hang on here. He's got more pylons on the way. He may break the supply block, believe it or not. But I just don't think Mutalisks are going to be able to deal with this. I got to say, I love that Paranoid was going for the Muta play. I already know a lot of people are going to be upset that he's stuck with Muta so long. And I think it honestly would have worked. But he needed a good engagement there with the Mutas, the Zerglings, maybe even mix in some Hydras or something, some meat to the army. More Ultralisks, more Roaches, something like that, or Infestors. Oh, he's finally going to be able to take out this base, though. Not a whole lot of mining going to be taking place right now, but he just doesn't have enough to deal with this army directly. That is the main problem here. Take a look at this army supply, 97 to 111. Kills off yet another pylon there. He's just trying to supply block him all day. But the Lings, there's really nothing left on the field to take out. Oh, more pylons over here. No, so he's going straight for the pylons. He knows he's already going to force the cancel there. So he wants to kill the pylons before this army gets back into position. This is such just a back and forth game between these armies here. I mean, honestly, Paranoid should have won, but he had one bad engagement, and now all of a sudden he is in bad shape. And look at this. This is all the Protoss has left. Nothing else on the map. Just this one center base. And Paranoid, I mean, how do you deal with this? Link's right there trying to take out the Nexus. That's not going to happen. Looks like the Phoenix might actually go down, though, right when I'm trying to clear my throat. Trying to drink a little bit of tea right now. Actually, I am going to take a drink of tea because this game, I don't know if it's over anytime soon. Hang on. Oh, that tea is so good on my throat. But it does look like right now Sage has weathered the storm. It has been a very long storm, but he is in a position to actually be able to move out for the kill here. The only thing Paranoid can do, I feel like, is make some infestors. I think that's going to be his only option here, but the problem is that fungal growth is not going to kill anything of what you see here. So I think that Sage may have actually done it. Loses the Nexus right there. This Mutalisk ball is going to have to retreat once again, but he's cutting into the resources, keeping Sage on one base at the 49-minute mark, which is not something that I say very often. The Ling count's very high. The reason he has so many Lings is because, look at this, the mineral count is ridiculous here. I don't even know if he can get enough larvae. He does have 26 larvae. Does he decide to dump it into Zerglings? Does he decide to dump it into Roaches or something that he can try and be cost-effective with this army? He's got to be careful. Storm right there, going to prevent the Zergling run-by. The Mutas over here cannot deal with this. So, I mean, really, what do you do as Paranoid in this situation? I love that he's being aggressive, but he's got a lot of money in the bank, and he can make one more wave of units off of that larva. But what is it that he actually gets? Does have the 3 drones and gas right there. Needs 3 in there. He is going to go for it right now, trying to kill off this base. This army is tucked away into a corner, though. The Storms are going to eat up every single Zergling almost. That was so many kills. I don't know where all these High Templar are, but my God, they just massacred. Look at that, 16 kills on that High Templar. Where are these Hero Phoenix at? So many kills, 10 kills on that one, 4 on the other one. There's not many Phoenix left, but man, are these guys veterans or what? I think 10 kills is the highest. No, 11 kills on that on that Phoenix right there. And you got to remember that those are all Mutalisks. That is the Red Baron right there. You guys thought the Red Baron was dead. No, he survived all the way into playing StarCraft 2 and does manage to hang in there. Now, do you have a base on the way for Paranoid? Honestly, the only thing Paranoid can do right now is sit back, try and macro up again, which just sounds silly at this point, but it's 19 drones to 22, which is still a winnable situation here for Paranoid, but he needs to figure out some sort of unit for this army composition. I mean, Mutalisks are just not going to cut it anymore. Zerglings haven't really ever cut it. He's got to try and go for the Templar Archives, unable to get it. Going for the pylons would be quite nice. Now, Paranoid knows... God, I'm starting to lose my voice because this game is so crazy. Paranoid knows that he's stuck on 2 bases here. So as long as he leaves the Lings here, delays that base, he himself can start mining off of 2 bases, but he actually needs to make more drones right now. Going for the Templar Archives. Once again, there's a Storm. If you're wondering why he's going for the Templar Archives, because Archons right now are the most cost-effective unit that he can actually get versus Zergling Muta, and he can't get the Templar to make the Archons if he loses the Templar Archives. Now, he's trying to do as much damage as he can here. He wants to buy as much time as possible. The army here, though, it is not falling for it, as it is going to retreat right there. But I think, honestly, just making more drones is what he needs to do here. Try and buy as much time as he possibly can. But again, I still don't know if he has the right units. He will be able to get a nice angle here. Oh, the Storm! Doing lots of damage. Now, remember that Mutalisks do regenerate HP very quickly, so take a look at this. Look how quickly that does go up. But the problem is that he can't afford to lose any of those Mutas. He needs to buy as much time as possible. So this game is starting to get... I mean, I know it's already been epic, but it's starting to get pretty serious. That's the word I'm going to use, and I'm going to stick to it. It's getting pretty serious because right now Paranoid has to make a decision. Do I make drones and risk the push out and lose? Do I not make drones and risk not having enough units? What do? I honestly don't know what the correct choice is. Normally, watching from my God perch up here, I can decide what a really good choice would be, but I honestly don't know. I'm at a loss for decisions at this point. I really don't know what the best option is. Sage, I think, is making the best option. I'm going to be sticking to his technically 1.5 bases now because he is going to be mining gas. This is almost mined out, though. Only 60 remaining in there. 500 left in there. This map is going to be mined out before not too long. Well, I don't know. Space still is not saturated whatsoever. Finally, some drones are on the way. I think Ultras is the correct choice. You kind of want to scare your opponent with those Ultras. Where's the army, though? Completely out of position, apparently. There it is right there. Almost lost a Warp Gate, which really losing one Warp Gate is not going to hurt him all that much. And the fact of the matter is he killed off a Corruptor there. So to me, that is going to be worth it. But he needs to get some more income here. That's what he has to do. I don't know if he can do it. He's going to go for the final attack right now. I think he should have been more patient, but the Storm's got to be killing off everything. And yep, that's not going to happen. I don't think this game's going to happen for Paranoid. He needed to wait, but there's just too many Archons. A ridiculous amount of Archons. It's got to move out right now. I think this game might be over. I cannot believe this game was an hour long. This did not feel like an hour long. If I watched this game before like going to work, I would have been half an hour late to work because this game does not feel that long whatsoever. Now the Muta's trying to clean up the Phoenix here. My God, these Phoenix still in the game. 4 kills on that one. The other one's up to 12 right now. Might be able to kill off several more units before it's all said and done. Here's the Ultra, but unfortunately it's just too little too late. Look at that splash damage on all 3 of those Archons. Manages to kill him off. There's the GG from Paranoid. Sage weathered that storm for almost an hour and managed to come out ahead and end up winning that game. Now, I want to say, I already know a lot of people are going to poop all over Paranoid for making Mutas for so long, but I want to say, imagine if Sage lost one battle for that entire game. He would have lost the game because he wouldn't have had anything to defend against the Mutalist Harass. Look at the minimap. When do you see a game like this? And overall, I mean, it's just crazy. Units lost here. He lost over 1,000 units. Yes, I know that's a lot. A lot of that has to do with Zerglings, but that is still a lot. Archons look so badass when they don't have a giant orb around them. But either way, this is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. This is definitely the most aggressive game I've ever cast, and this is getting the epic tag for one of the awesome games. So if you have a friend who doesn't watch The Lost StarCraft, this game was awesome. I think it's definitely worth showing them. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I gotta go take a break, man. My voice is about to actually die, which I would not enjoy that one bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh God, my voice.